Good afternoon, everybody. Would the registrar please call the case?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Case number IT 0368I, the prosecutor versus Nasser Orić.
Thank you. May I ask for the appearances, please?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Counsel. For the prosecution appear Mrs. Marie Touma, trial attorney, Ms. Kimberly Fleming, trial support, and I, Eckhard Wittopf, acting senior trial attorney.
Thank you. For the defense, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My name is Vasya Vidovic. I'm defense counsel for Mr. Nasser Orić.
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Vidovic. Mr. Orić, will you please stand up? Do you hear the proceedings in a language you can understand?
Yes, I do, and I understand.
For the records and identification, would you please state your full name?
My name is Nasser Orić.
Would you please also state your father and mother's name?
My father's name is Cemal, and my mother's name, Hata.
Thank you. And what are the date and place of your birth?
The 3rd of March, 1967, the village of Potočari, municipality of Srebrenica.
Thank you. You may sit down.
Thank you.
The indictment against the accused, Mr. Orić, was reviewed and confirmed by another permanent judge of this tribunal on the 28th of March 2003, with the arrest warrant issued on the same day. The accused was arrested on 10th of April 2003 in Tuzla, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and transferred to the detention unit of this tribunal on the next day. Upon the transfer of the accused, the president of the tribunal assigned this case to the trial chamber 3, and as one of its judges, I have been designated as the pretrial judge. Today's proceeding is the initial appearance of the accused, pursuant to Rule 62 of our Rules of Procedure and Evidence. The first thing I have to do is to satisfy myself that the accused understand the indictment. Ms. Vidovic, did the accused receive the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor, he received the indictment.
In a language he can understand?
In the language he understands.
Thank you.
Yes.
It is the right of the accused to have the indictment read out in full in a language he speaks and understands. Ms. Vidovic, does your client wish to have the indictment read out?
My client understood the indictment, and he understood the indictment, and he concerns it is not necessary to read it today again.
Very well, thank you. Then the next step is a plea to the charges of the indictment. The accused may enter a plea within 30 days of the initial appearance, but he may enter a plea today if he so wishes. Ms. Vidovic, what is your client's intention? Does your client wish to enter a plea today or do it later?
He wants to plead today.
Very well. Mr. Orić, I will ask the Madame Registrar to put each count of the indictment to you. Then please enter your plea to each count, and please confine your answer to either guilty or not guilty. Registrar, could you put the each count to the accused?
Yes, Your Honor. Count 1, murder, a violation of the laws or customs of war, punishable under Articles 3 and 7.3 of the Statute of the Tribunal, and recognized by Article 3.1a of the Geneva Conventions.
Mr. Orić, how do you plead to that count 1?
Časni sude,
Your Honor, not guilty.
And count 2, please.
Count 2, cruel treatment, a violation of the laws or customs of war, punishable under Articles 3 and 7.3 of the Statute of the Tribunal, and recognized by Article 3.1a of the Geneva Conventions.
How do you plead to count 2, Mr. Orić?
časni sude,
Your Honor, sirs, not guilty.
Thank you. And count 3.
Count 3, wanton destruction of cities, towns, or villages, not justified by military necessity, a violation of the laws or customs of war, punishable under Articles 3b and 7.3 of the Statute of the Tribunal.
Thank you. How would you plead to count 3?
časni sude i poštovani
Your Honors, sirs, not guilty.
Yes, count 4.
Count 4, plunder of public or private property, a violation of the laws or customs of war, punishable under Articles 3e and 7.3 of the Statute of the Tribunal.
Yes, Mr. Orić, how would you plead to that?
časni sude,
Your Honor, sirs, not guilty.
And our final count?
Count 5.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was mistaken. Yes, count 5.
Count 5, wanton destruction of cities, towns, or villages, not justified by military necessity, a violation of the laws or customs of war, punishable under Articles 3b and 7.1 of the Statute of the Tribunal.
Yes, Mr. Orić, what is your plea to count 5?
časni sude,
Your Honor, sirs, not guilty.
Thank you. And count 6, please.
Count 6, plunder of public or private property, a violation of the laws or customs of war, punishable under Articles 3e and 7.1 of the Statute of the Tribunal.
Yes, Mr. Orić, what is your plea?
časni sude,
Your Honor, sirs, not guilty.
Thank you. You may sit down.
hvala.
Thank you.
Very well. This concludes the first part, major part of today's proceeding. Then I must now remind the prosecution that pursuant to Rule 60A(1), to make available within 30 days to the defense in a language that the accused understands all these supporting materials which accompanied the indictment when the confirmation has been sought. Also, all prior statements obtained by the prosecution from the accused must be disclosed as well. And also, let me now turn to the defense and also tell the defense that it will have a 30-day period for filing any preliminary motions that it may care to do once it has received all the supporting materials in accordance with Rule 66 of the rules of the procedure and evidence. Having said that, I'd like to ask the parties whether there are any matters they wish to raise at this moment.
Your Honor, from the side of the prosecution, there's no further observation to be made. The prosecution is well aware of its disclosure obligations and will comply with the rules.
Thank you. And for the defense?
No, no, Your Honor, we have nothing to say now. We have no question to raise now. Thank you.
Mr. Orić, is there anything you would like to raise at this moment, in particular regarding your arrest or anything else?
Časni sude i poštovana gospođo.
Your Honor, sirs, I don't have anything to say.
Very well. Please sit down. According to the Rule 65 ter, the pretrial judge may be assisted in the performance of his duties by one of the senior legal officers assigned to the chambers. Unfortunately, she's not with us today, but I would like her to recommend to arrange a conference with the parties and in order to discuss matters relating to the preparation of trial and the establishment of a work plan for it. And the parties will be informed. And I would like that conference be held before the status conference, which is to take place in 120 days' time from now. Unless there's anything, the proceeding is adjourned.
All rise for Yevu Lefebvre.